Hi guys, and welcome to my Women's World Cup Round 3 video. I'll be switching over to FPL content very soon going forward, so I'll try and make this content available via Twitter or Instagram in the coming weeks. There might not be as many videos, but I'll still try and get as much content out for you guys as I can on the women's game. But for now, let's take a look at the players with the most points from the first two rounds from the teams that are going through to help you with your fantasy teams. First up, we have France, who face Nigeria, and the players to note here with the most points from the first two rounds in the She Plays game are Marjorie with 34 points, Lissummer 32 points, who also scored in round 2, and Guavin, who also scored in round 2 with 17 points. France have Nigeria up next, but will they rotate to keep people fresh like we've seen with the USA? That is a possibility, so just bear that in mind before you load up here. Next up, we have Germany, who face South Africa. Now, the players here to know are Gwyn, who has 31 points over the last two rounds, the Brits with 21 points, who also got a goal in the second round, and Dawson with 18 points. Again, Germany could keep the squad fresh here by rotating, so even though this fixture might look like a good one, we're not almost guaranteed players will play here. Then we have Italy, who will face Brazil. Gorelli with 29 points with a hat-trick in round 2 is the standout here. Benancia doing well again, 25 points over the last two rounds. Gingiano with 22 points. This Italy game could be a load up, though Italy are through, so they could rotate. I'm not sure they've got the depth of squad, but you know, they might do. However, there should be lots of goals in this game, I think. Next up, we have England versus Japan. The England players of note from the last two rounds: Paris with 24 points, Bronze with 20 points, Greenwood with 17 points. Other players of note: Mead with a goal in the second round. As with the others, these teams are through, so it's going to be interesting to see which teams rotate and how they do it if they do. So this will be good to see. Next up, we have Netherlands versus Canada. Medema is by far the standout here with 25 points. She scored a brace in round 2. Van Lunteren with 18 points and Van S also with 18 points. De Sanden and Berenstein, hope I'm saying these correctly, both scored in round 2, so are also of note here. This could be a tough matchup though, I think. If you invest here, it'd be to do so on form and hope that they start their strong lineups based on it being a tough matchup. So with all of that said, the players with the most points for Canada are Prince with 28 points, with a goal and assist in round 2, Lawrence with 26 points, Funchin with 25 points, and Becky with 25. As I say, this could be a tough matchup, so again, it's all on form, that one. Next up, we have Sweden versus the USA. Sweden will need to put out a strong side up against the USA, and this matchup will be the first time we see the USA face a difficult fixture, I believe. Despite being through, Sweden will want to go all out, I believe. So Aslani with 35 points over the last two rounds, with a goal in the second round, is definitely one to watch. Eriksson with 26 points, Rubenson with 25 points, and then just to mention, Hurtig and Sembrant also of note here for getting their goals in the second round if they're played. Bear in mind, the USA have a strong defence, so this is unlikely to be a goal fest for Sweden. And so moving on to the USA, obviously this team rotated heavily in the second round, but here are the players with the most points overall, as the hope is with the tougher fixture that despite being through, some of these players may get some more game time again. Morgan with 54 points, Lloyd with 33 points, Mewis with 32 points, and Rippany with 26 points. Players of note though from the second round who did get some game time: Lloyd with 2 goals, Ertz with 1, and Davidson with 2 assists. Of course, err with caution here. We have no idea whether this team is going to continue to rotate or whether they'll go back to their original lineup. Now let's take a look at the best of the rest, teams that are fighting for something and the players that could be worth considering based on that. First of all, we have Norway versus Korea. Norway need a win here and Korea could be just the team to get it against. Rating with 22 points, Thortistor with 18 points and Hansen with 14 points are all the highest scorers over the 2 rounds for Norway. Then we have Spain versus China. Spain could grab a little something here and they need to, so I've added them to the list. Hermosa with 30 points, Torresilla with 15 points and Corradillo with 16 points. Then we have Brazil versus Italy. This game, as mentioned earlier, could be very open. Will Italy rotate now that they are through, and will this leave the door open for Brazil? If so, here's some of the players to note. Christine with 31 points and got a goal in the second round. Alves with 22 points. Santos with 17 points and Dabina with 17 points, with an assist in the second round also. And I mentioned Tomata, who also grabbed a goal in that second round. Australia versus Jamaica. Australia are going to need a win here, and I think this is the matchup they will be well up for. But also Jamaica's defence has been unfortunately very bad this competition. I'd be looking to Australia as a good place to load up on in fantasy bet. With that in mind, Kerr has 23 points in the She Plays game over 2 rounds. Lagazzo is another one to consider with 17 points. She's got a goal and an assist in round 2. Ford with 15 points, also scoring in round 2. And Carpenter with 14 points. Another player of note from round 2 is Gielnik with a goal. Japan versus England. Whilst England will be a tough team to beat, they could rotate. Japan may be worth a punt on their need to win this, and England having conceded goals in this competition. Bearing this in mind, Nakajima with 15 points, Sagawasa with a goal in the second round and 14 points, Kagmage with 13 points, and Miura with 13 points could all be a shout. Again, hopefully I've pronounced some of them well. Other players to mention is Owabachi, who got a goal in the second round, and Endo got an assist. In terms of my teams, you should see my round 2 She Plays team on screen now. It's not fully updated with points because the round hasn't started yet, but I'll keep you updated on that. And as for my fantasy bet, loading up on USA when they rotated heavily and not having a great bench meant I've still not got the hang of this game at all, but I'm definitely enjoying giving it a go. And it's at this point I should mention my FPL channel sponsors fantasyfootballfix.com and give thanks to She Plays and Fantasy Bet for allowing the resources to play the ladies' fantasy football game. And lastly, a shout out to @McTavius for all his help on this video. Do go make sure you go check him out. Please like, share and subscribe. Until next time, Nymphria out.